Hola, buenos días. Me llamo Marta Alexandra Flisykowska y voy a hacer la presentación en inglés, pero quería saludar a todos que me escuchan y si alguien va a tener alguna pregunta después de la presentación, también me podéis preguntar en castellano. Vale, entonces vamos a empezar. So once again, hello. Yeah, I'm still Marta Alexandra Flisykowska. I'm representing Academy of Fine Arts in Gdańsk and Universidad Politecnica de Valencia. Why so strange? I'm a professor of fine arts at Academy of Fine Arts in the design department, but in the same time, I started my second PhD at the Universidad Politecnica de Valencia, and about this part, I'm going to tell you today a bit more. Okay, due to the subject, due to the Congress, I would like to share that my experience comes from studying how people interact with the installations and exhibitions, which also rely on immersion, and from exploring the aesthetics of tangible and real objects. I have a hypothesis that this kind of experience is often missing in the world of games, where the narrative is not always consistent or engaging because it lacks of sense of real world materiality and presence. During this presentation, I would like to show you how I'm treating the time as a creative tool, and I think it has a potential at the borderlands of the words between the real and the fictional, and the material and virtual. Yeah, I often use I'm saying that sometimes we need a story, the history. And this is why I would like to show you a few aerial projects in which the artifact serves as a carrier of the story, and the story itself could not have existed without being actually materially grounded. One of the first is the project Who Knows How and what might our nose look like if we lived on Mars, a speculative project blending anthropology, plastic surgery, and using 3D printing. Other Martian project is, the name is In Rust We Trust, Martian Ceramics. In that case, that was very experimental projects, and I was using also experimental material, MGS1, which is the Martian regolith simulant, and that was the first registered example of production this kind of ceramic. Do you feel connected was a tangible object, an object of the digital society, based on the book of Stanisław Lem, which is our Polish science fiction writer, quite well known all around the world. I create also other installation based on the book of Stanisław Lem, which was shown during the Expo 2020 in Dubai. And something I think also curious, how design fiction can be engaged in the European Space Agency. That was quite interesting project, rover obstacle course for a small scale Mars base. And Possibility project, very narrative and interdisciplinarity project about which I'm going to tell you a bit more today. So let's go back to the subject, applied science fiction, speculative methodologies in a space time of art and culture. First of all, let's let's start with the basics. So what is speculative design? It's not it's not the method to deliver the solutions. It's more to ask all of those what if questions and create scenarios and stimulates our discussion about the future in order to react already in the old way, like now, quite often connected with a critical design. Design fiction, in a very short, briefly way to explain that, I think it's a way of materialization the speculative scenarios and make a tangible objects and artifacts which can tell the story by themselves. And I combine those two above. Applied science fiction connects speculative design and design fiction. It turns scenarios into culture, narrative, and tangible experience. Yeah, let's go then. So speculative design is a way of using design to ask what if questions, as I mentioned. It helps people think, or I hope it helps people think and talk about possible futures, not just make new products. It is also called critical design because it questions what already exists and invites reflections instead of offering simple solutions. The term design fiction was popularized by Julian Bleecker, co-founder of New Future Lab, through his essay, Design Fiction, a short essay on design, science, fact, and fiction. And he describes it as a way of using speculative prototypes and narratives to explore possible futures. I feel a bit like an ambassador of those authors. I think quite interesting part is how the other researcher, Montgomery, is showing the unresolved map of speculative design. These two approaches, speculative design and design fiction, grew out of the need to move beyond the limitations of conventional design solutions. What I would like to add to this map, please pay attention that we have like two different directions to go into the way of that everything is going to be constrained, structured, and have, let's say, all of the boxes in the order. And totally opposite part, whereas freedom and expression in a pure way. That's why on the map you can see strategy closer here, and like, let's say, the real one, design, closer to that part, and art is the opposite. Design fiction is still a design, but already close to the science fiction and art. And I'm not sure if you are familiar with the future cones, especially the Voros future cones. Professor Voros create this one. The Voros cone is, we can say that is a foresight tool used to explore and plan the future. So it's already on the map on this constrained part. It helps show that that from the present moment, here, from the present moment, there are many possible futures depending on our choices and actions, and it's often used in a strategic planning, education, and speculative design to think about what could, might, or should happen. So I think it's a quite interesting approach that we have more than one future, and that this model is three-dimensional. In that sense, I think it also helps our imagination to see the connections. But the authors of the of speculative design, Anthony Dunne and Fiona Raby, were using this cone to show that that somewhere along the way we lost our direction and limited our imagination. So this part is actually where we are with our imagination. The very powerful words of Dunne, how he starts their book, is that we stopped to be able to have dreams or visions. We started focusing, and we started only to have hope. I think it's a, as I mentioned, powerful tool also to show how exercise, how many exercise for our imagination we need. I decided to combine those approaches, theories, methodologies, and put them into the cultural field and field of art. I created this space-time model to show also that everything is, the culture is connecting everything. And I decided to, let's say, travel through time. I know in English all this can sound like English grammar, the past in the future, the future in the past. But these are actually the case studies I would like to share. We are going to start with the one which is the past in the future, parallel realities, and the future in the past. Yes. So the first case study is a possibility project, archaeology of the future. And here the question is, what if, like the dinosaurs, we disappear from the earth, leaving only traces behind? The title of the project already includes the narrative part. Fossil is one part of the name, and possibility the other. One is representing a trace of life, and the other future scenario. Possibilities explores human creativity through speculative archaeology. And this is how it starts. This timeline begins in distant past, echoes of fossils with the dinosaurs. Here we have the era that we call Anthropocene, so it's our time. And my project, the artifacts of the future fossils are already after us. I create this scenario connecting also past in the sense of myths, mythology, and for example, what we've been calling monsters in bestiarios. And the question is, aren't we living with the monsters now? Mutants and monsters in the present time we are creating by the pollution and with the other actions of human living. And sometimes the reality is much more stronger than any dystopic sci-fi. So I was asking, okay, so what if we could see what is going to remain after us? And I create the collection of those artifacts, the possibilities artifacts. So they are speculative objects created to imagine and question the future traces of humanity. They served as a tool of reflection and on how our actions today might be seen or interpreted in the distant future. The aesthetic of the artifacts are carefully designed or create to look like the historical objects, making the future feel like a story from the past. I put a lot of attention to the how to materialize this aesthetic and create the full story. The project was dedicated to Valencia Gulf, and that's why the touristic bestiario was dedicated to the to the nature and sea nature in the Valencia Gulf. Here you can see some parts of the collection. The second project, which is based present but as a parallel reality. The name is Mascleta, a celebration of destruction. It's a video art installation, but deeply rooted in a Spanish culture, explores the environmental destruction of the Anthropocene era and evokes the unsettling violence of tragic events in Ukraine. That was the part of the project, that the whole group exhibition was dedicated to the war in Ukraine. But as we all know, a lot of cruelty is happening right now in different parts of the world too. The visuals and sounds of destruction serves as a stark reminder of violence, of human devastation, adding socio-political layer to the work. As I mentioned, the group exhibition was curated by three amazing artists, researchers, and curators. The project was dedicated to the conflict in Ukraine, but I think it has more powerful and open message than only to the one point. What was important for me to show these parallel realities. Also as a foreigner, for me the Mascleta thing was it is still very well fuerte, very strong experience. And for those who might don't know what is Mascleta, is a traditional Spanish fireworks show from Valencia or Valencia region, and it focuses not only on the visual effects, or let's say mainly on the powerful rhythmic explosions that creates an intense sound experience, usually held on noon during Las Fallas festival. It represents a local passion. This is what the people was trying to explain me: energy and community spirits. Let's see a bit. For those who didn't know, that was one of the fireworks show. And in the same time, the same sound doesn't have to be connected, or even more often, it's not connected with anything like pleasure, passion, or joy. So places, the fireworks are even forbidden to not be confused them to the real attack or bomb. Since the exhibition was dedicated also in a sense of art and ecology, I create this video art projection on the sand. Thanks to that, we had opportunity to also again touch the projection. I used industrial explosions that have been recorded. This one is reversed in the time. Exactly. And like in real Mascleta, I was trying to reach the consequence and repeating explosions, very, very powerful final. And all this creates the show, but also showing the impact combines the message, the cultural message, and the parallel reality, reinterpreting it in the new thing. The third and the last one, dystopia. a retrofuturistic reinterpretation of Slavic mythology. Dystopia combines art, also a critical design, and cultural studies reinterpreting Slavic myths and beliefs in the context of today's environmental, technological, and social challenges. This project, the first, I was exhibited in the Mexico City in the gallery in the UNAM University. Later, the opportunity to show the Dystopia project during the Art Intel exhibition in Gdańsk in Poland, and in UFO exhibition where I was showing the digital part and the materialized part. This time traveling, this time from the future to the past. Why from the future to the past? Because I focus on studying the stylistic of AI generated imaginary, and then transferring it into handmade paper. This handmade paper contains the Polish plants. The goal was to make AI tangible, a way to materialize the future on paper, giving it both an physical and aesthetic form. So other thing which I think in the sense of culture is interesting, that the popular stories like indigenous languages were often not written down, but passed on orally. Once they are recorded, or their original meaning often changes. This I find quite interesting due to the AI tools. Generative AI works in a similar way. It transforms words into images. It's like we already have the prompts, but by the way we are using kind of words, they are changing a lot. Yeah, but a short video to compare those aesthetics. That on one hand is a very generative AI tool. On the other hand, how the study is about the aesthetics in itself and how it remains on paper that evokes the past. Digitally created images cannot be touched, at least not yet, and that's why the physical component is made of handmade paper. And here you can also see how AI aesthetics, how it's appear in a different transmedia part. The digital interaction creates a dialogue between past and the future, and also that was my goal. So you can see that I'm not only traveling through time, but also between digital, analog, and digital. Summary, the method I use, or more my practice of work, has been tasted through a series of artistic research projects, exhibition objects, and visual and or audiovisual installations, which serves as a case study demonstrating how cultural analysis, fiction, and materialization can merge into coherent design research process. Each project explores different relationship between time, space, and meaning. I use time as a creative tool, and this one you already seen, but I hope now you are able to understand the idea. Each project is an experiment with time and culture, where artifacts and traditions are reimagined as storytellers. From this work, an original design method is growing, a creative process where past, present, and future can exist together. Using time as a creative tool and working between material and immaterial worlds, I draw from experience rooted in tangible reality. I believe this perspective can help make experience more expressive and mindful, I hope, enhancing their quality and emotional impact. Can be applied to the design of cultural narratives and speculative words, especially in a digital art, video games, immersive experience, and creative education. And that's all. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate and find me, catch me, and let's talk. And let me know what you think about the time traveling and this methodology. Muchísimas gracias. Hasta luego. Chao.